Welcome to the Monday edition of the Tech Stocks Daily Podcast. Buckle up, because today's episode is packed with juicy updates that'll have you buzzing. First, we're diving into MicroStrategy's Bitcoin Binge as they pick up another $101 million worth of crypto. Will this bold play pay off? Shifting gears, we explore Apple's mixed valuation signals, their ambitious AI ventures, and the massive $325 stock price target that's got Wall Street in a frenzy. Finally, we'll touch on Microsoft's strategic pause with its next-gen data center and their cautious stance around Bitcoin. Are you ready to get the lowdown on these tech juggernauts? Let's get started. All right, tech fans, today we're diving into the big, bold moves of MicroStrategy, a company that's making headlines with its ambitious Bitcoin escapade. So grab your popcorn because it's getting crypto crazy. Once upon a time, MicroStrategy was your typical geeky software company specializing in data analytics. But then CEO Michael Saylor decided to throw a plot twist that would make any Hollywood scriptwriter proud. Back in 2020, due to the COVID lockdowns and ridiculously low interest rates, Saylor had a eureka moment, pivoting from boring software to grabbing Bitcoin with both hands. Fast forward to today, and it's clearer than the clearest HD screen that this strategy has cemented MicroStrategy's fame, if not its fortune. Now for today's headline, MicroStrategy has just announced yet another mega Bitcoin purchase, valued at $101 million. That's 1,170 BTC, picked up at an average of $94,004 per Bitcoin. While that may sound like they've been raiding piggy banks, it's actually part of a grand weekly Bitcoin buying spree orchestrated by Saylor himself. This move is consistent with their ongoing Bitcoin or bust strategy, which has seen the company snag an impressive grand total of 447,470 Bitcoins. At today's bonkers Bitcoin price of $101,832, Saylor's stash is edging over a whopping $45.5 billion, which, I'm sure you'll agree, is enough to buy everyone's morning coffee, and then some. It's not all rainbows and rocket ships to the moon for MicroStrategy, though. Sure, the company's stock price is up more than 500% year to date, giving early shareholders something to laugh about, all the way to their lengthy retreats on private islands. But the strategy has its set of storm clouds looming on the horizon. As the biggest publicly traded hodler of the crypto, MicroStrategy is now a bit like the designated driver in a car full of Bitcoin bananas. If the price of Bitcoin were ever to take a nosedive rather than its current skyrocket, MicroStrategy might find itself at the business end of a roller coaster ride without any seatbelts, highly leveraged and risking overvaluation limbo. Interestingly, MicroStrategy isn't alone in this high-stakes crypto adventure. Making some regional noise is Japan-based Metaplanet, which is on a mission to acquire its own treasure trove of 10,000 Bitcoins using cutting-edge strategies. To add a new layer to the enigma, MicroStrategy's big bucks Bitcoin goal stretches into the year 2025, where they aim to skim through the tricky investment waters with their 21-21 plan, to reel in $21 billion in equity. It's a lot of dough for a company once tied to data charts rather than digital coins. So, what does all of this mean? Well, it's a high-stakes poker game where MicroStrategy has pushed a pile of chips into the center table, those chips being Bitcoin. Whether this gamble pays off remains the question on everyone's lips, but it for sure has the entire tech and investment world glued to their screens. Stay tuned because this Bitcoin saga is far from being frosty, it's just heating up. Hold on to your AirPods, because today we're diving into the world of Apple, the tech behemoth that just can't seem to stay out of the headlines. Whether you're a disciple of the fruit-named company, or just curious about why it's causing such a buzz on the streets of Wall Street, we've got you covered. First up, Apple has been getting a lot of attention following an in-depth analysis in the technology, hardware, storage, and peripherals sector. Essentially, financial wizards have been pulling out their calculators and spreadsheets to see how Apple stacks against its competitors. Some interesting tidbits surfaced, suggesting Apple might be somewhat undervalued on certain financial fronts, despite its larger-than-life reputation as one of the biggest brands on Earth. While Apple's price-to-earnings ratio at 40.03 is below the industry average, indicating potential undervaluation, its price-to-book and price-to-sales ratios suggest some degree of overvaluation. In simpler terms, is Apple cheap or expensive? Depends on how you slice the pie. Yet, it boasts a strong return on equity and gigantic profits, with impressive figures like $32.5 billion in EBITDA leading the charge. Apple seems to be packing quite a metaphorical punch with how efficiently it uses its resources and fat stacks of profit rolling in. But hang on, revenue growth has slowed down a bit, trailing behind the industry average. It's as if the juggernaut hasn't completely sidestepped the giant tortoise, slowing everyone down. Pause for drama. One analyst dreamed big by pushing their Apple stock price target to a jaw-dropping $325. This optimism stems from Apple's engagement in the AI race. Apple Intelligence is now woven into the iOS tapestry, fueling hopes of an uptick in generative AI applications and making investors' hearts skip a beat. Apparently, Apple's strapping itself in for what's been dubbed a supercycle, driven by the shiny new iPhone 16 and burgeoning services revenue infused by AI magic. But let's not sweep everything under the red carpet just yet. The DOJ has been eyeing Apple's grip on its tightly fenced ecosystem, sniffing around for any monopolistic vibes. Not exactly a sight Apple wants in the mirror of its latest self-driving concept car. Financial soothsayers like Dan Ives from Wedbush are bullish, envisioning a future where Apple rides the AI wave majestically. Hopes are pinned on Latin names we've heard before, impressive sales boost from China, and the next phases of AI bolstering Apple's growth. Still, this enthusiasm comes with caution, as some eyebrows lift at Apple's biggest current valuation, comparable to a highly seasoned soufflé, priced high, demanding growth. In a nutshell, as Apple continues to juggle Wall Street expectations and its own ambitious roadmap, only time will tell if that $325 price tag comes into play or remains the stuff of speculative fiction. For now, Apple's journey through the digital realm promises to be anything but boring. Stay tuned. All right, tech enthusiasts, Microsoft's juggling multiple headlines today, and we're diving right into the action. First up, Microsoft's been making waves in the Bitcoin ocean, but not quite plunging in headfirst. Despite being a titan worth over $3 trillion, the tech giant decided to steer clear of adding Bitcoin to its treasury chest. The board's concerns revolved around Bitcoin's notorious volatility. Imagine putting that in your portfolio and, oopsie, 2 minutes later checking to find your fortune doing cartwheels. However, don't let the rejection fool you. Microsoft's second largest shareholder, BlackRock, is doing more than flirting. It's taking Bitcoin on fancy dinners. With a whopping 561.48 million Microsoft shares to its name, BlackRock is giving Bitcoin the twinkle eyes. The asset management behemoth suggests a moderate 1% allocation to Bitcoin, making it the blushing bride of a balanced portfolio. Plus, they've got the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF raking in breathtaking $53 billion baskets of Sirpto goodness. Of course, they've also sprinkled some controversy along the way, poking at Bitcoin's supposed 21 million supply limit. Razzle-dazzle, right? Switching gears, Microsoft is hitting pause on one of its ambitious plans, a $3.3 billion data center in Mount Pleasant. What's the scoop? While Phase 1's construction is still on schedule for this wonder project, they've put Phase 2 on hold. This baby's expected to form the backdrop of a supercomputer sanctuary for OpenAI, the wizards behind ChatGPT, but Microsoft wants to ensure they're building the glitziest, most up-to-date digs possible. They're reevaluating the blueprint to sync with new tech in AI, which is as fast-paced as inline skating down a hill. This pause for thought is just part of Microsoft's grand strategy to lavish $80 billion on AI training arenas and deploying revolutionary tech across its global network. Remember, the location initially caught the eye of Foxconn before they scaled down their billion-dollar ambitions to just $672 million. Well, they say change is the only constant, right? What do you think about these tech tango moves by Microsoft? Delaying data, dodging Bitcoin, while diversifying AI investments? And let's speculate, a harmless pastime for us tech dreamers, do you foresee Microsoft eventually giving a nod to Bitcoin? Would you bet on an AI-fueled future? Drop your thoughts and virtual voice in the comments below. Let's get the discussion buzzing. Your insights mean the world, so don't hold back. Fire away. All right, tech aficionados, let's get down to business. We're going to zero in on MicroStrategy, the company that seems to be more into Bitcoin than your average crypto enthusiast. So, should you buy, sell, or hold? Considering today's news that MicroStrategy's throwing a cool $101 million at Bitcoin like they're at a crypto carnival, I'd say things are heating up. The company, and by company I mean Michael Saylor, is doubling down on its Bitcoin or bust mantra. If you believe in the long-term bullish trajectory of Bitcoin and are comfortable with some nail-biting volatility, then this stock screams potential. Now, if I owned MicroStrategy stock and had a deep-seated trust in the cryptocurrency market's growth, I might be inclined to hold and watch where this crazy Bitcoin roller coaster rides next. Those jaw-dropping stock gains and ballooning Bitcoin holdings could signal future wealth if the market remains favorable. But keep in mind, MicroStrategy's heavily tethered to Bitcoin's highs and lows, meaning if Bitcoin hiccups, the stock could take a dive bomb of its own. On the flip side, if you're more of a risk-averse investor or skeptical about Bitcoin maintaining its run like the prize-winning racehorse it has felt like in recent months, you might want to sell and pocket the stock's recent meteoric rise. There's great value in controlling that risk, especially when riding high. In any scenario, remember, my friends, this all hinges on the wild crypto market. So, do your own research, weigh how much risk you're willing to swag it out with, and make an informed decision that suits your financial vibe and goals. For now, I'm hedging my virtual bets on a hold if you're already in the game to see where this thrilling crypto saga takes you. But remember, you're the captain of your own financial destiny. Today's tech market was on fire with some thrilling stories that left heads spinning. MicroStrategy made waves with its relentless Bitcoin buying spree, stacking up digital coins like they're going out of style. Meanwhile, Apple caught the spotlight not just through murmurs of undervaluation, but also with its grand AI endeavors, aiming to rocket to even greater heights. Lastly, Microsoft played it cool in the Bitcoin realm while recalibrating its grand AI and data center ambitions. From heady Bitcoin family feuds to the competitive wizardry of AI, the tech world is swirling with excitement and possibilities. If you got a kick out of today's whirlwind of tech news, remember to smash that like button, subscribe, and share the goodness with your fellow techies. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for even more headlines and backstage scoops from the electrifying world of technology.